Yeah, but we got people. It's another episode of the Curious for Gym. We got Darren Jones with us. Yeah, it's wicked to have you on, man. We've been speaking for a while.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're doing the boxing announcing. You've done the Luton announcing.
Yeah.
Hairdresser, DJ. I seen you at Battle Arena before, actually, doing the announcing there when it was in Houghton.
Yes, I've done sort of MC work for Battle Arena, iBox, Raw Breed, and with them I can only do sort of like the non-professional promotions, because you've actually got to have a license to be a pro sort of MC for boxing. So yeah, I do like all of those ones, and then I do all the DJing otherwise, from anything from influencer boxing all the way up to pro boxing with the likes of Goodwin.
He was on the KingPyn. Remember we went to the KingPyn?
What, that one?
Well, what is with KingPyn, I actually done, they had a DJ, and then the DJ let them down for the weigh-ins. So literally I just got a message on Instagram with, right, what are you doing next Wednesday, Thursday? Can you come to the O2? It was like, yeah, we'll have some of that. And you know what I mean? So I worked in a school at the time, and you're not meant to take time off. And I'm like, right, listen, I've been asked to do something quite big in that. Can I have the afternoon off like for 2 days on the bounce? And they let me have it. So I went down there, and you had El Brook, you had like Ed Matthews.
Yeah.
That card was funny, man.
Yeah, man, it was wicked. Don't get me wrong, the next shows before it all went under, I think that was most probably one of the best influencer boxing shows I've seen.
On paper.
Yeah.
Because when I actually watched it, I was like,
What, the first one? I didn't see the second one.
The Ed Matthews one, we were there because we were doing some filming for Pulley. So we were there. Yeah. So we were there on that one. And then the next one, if I'm not mistaken, was the Gib, and they done all this big tournament.
Yeah,
they done
O2.
So that was the next one, and then now they've done the Dublin one, and now it's people saying they've not been getting paid and all this sort of shit.
Yeah,
I don't really know what's happening.
I looked into it, and they were saying apparently it went bankrupt or something. So I don't know exactly what's happened.
So is this next card not on then?
As far as
remember
it
there was
meant
the
to be,
tournament. It's not.
Yeah, it was meant to be in August. Because I looked the other day, I thought, what's going on with KingPyn, man? Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, I've not seen nothing online or anything like that. And then I saw all these rumours and videos. So I'm not going to say that's what's definitely happening.
Yeah, because I've seen a lot of like videos on YouTube at the minute, and people are saying like, like Wade Boxing, he does the commentary and stuff. He was saying he's not been paid, or one of the other people have not been paid. And
you got paid, Darren.
What, from KingPyn? Yeah, I got paid.
He cashed them checks and bounds.
That was all right. That was all right.
Someone just took money and cut.
Well, luckily, I only did the first one, because the second ones, they were like, look, we're taking it at different levels. So sometimes I have a production team do it instead.
Yeah, they probably did have a production team.
Yeah. Oh, the production for those shows is absolutely massive. Same with Wicked and Bad, because I do all the DJing for Wicked.
Yeah.
And
He's on a lot. Like, he does all the Goodwin ones.
Yeah.
You done one for Tony.
Yeah, so I've done Goodwin Boxing, I've done Tony Pill, obviously KingPyn, Wicked and Bad. Oh, there's more. I've done MTK's last ever show. So I've done MTK, and that was wicked.
Was it?
Oh yeah, you had Tony Bellew there, Dennis McCann there, and I'm just literally I'm 42, right? And I kid you not, at the time I was 41, I was just like a little kid, I was bowling around, and the people running, I'm like, do you mind if I ask him for a photo in that? It's like, it's Tony Bellew. And he's like, yeah, go on. And I'm like, yeah, I was like a kid in a sweetie shop. It was wicked. So, yeah, I've done quite a few promotions now. I'm trying to knock on the door of some of the big boys as well, but that's difficult to get into. But
what are you saying? You need to have a license for?
That's just for the MCing.
For the MCing.
If when you're doing sort of the white collar.
See, when I think of MCing, I'm thinking.
Yeah, but so for them ones I can do it. So any unlicensed boxing I can do, but any pro you've got to have a license. It costs like £120. But the rewards are quite high. So Goodwin, there was a guy called Kev. He's now moved over to Boxer. But he actually said to me, look, get your license. He was like, get your license, because when we need someone to do it, because like the guy they've got there is absolute legend. Like, literally love the guy. But they said, look, we could do with a backup and you could be the man for it. And I'm thinking, yeah. So I've just got
that's something you could take, like, you could go full time, man, if it was kicking off.
Like I've heard what the minimum payment is, and it's like a good week's wage, like cutting hair. So it's like, yeah, man, wicked. We'll have some of that. But I've just got to pull my finger out and get the license done. So I had the paperwork years ago, and then lockdown come. So when lockdown hit, I was like, stuff it, I'll just leave it. And then I've left it, and now I've just got to pull my finger out and actually get it done. So I'll definitely.
You end up in the right places, man. Mixing with the right people. You never know what could happen.
Well, yeah. Well, even just the fact is, like, of getting into Goodwin for me was that was like the big achievement, because that was the dream. It was like, right, I was doing him in the HQ Sports Bar for like the ones on the telly. And now I'm thinking, oh, you know what? I wouldn't mind going into the pro game, you know. But I started doing all the white collar, the unlicensed boxing, and all of that. And then I said to Linus, I was like, look, Linus, come on, man, get me in with Goodwin. So he spoke to Steve, and he was like, oh no, but we've got the production team. He was going, but it's my title fight. I want Darren there. He'll know what to play. And he was like, okay, cool. And then that's how I got in with Goodwin, and I've been with him ever since. So
Linus was like, because it's his title fight, I want him doing the DJing.
Yeah. He said like, look, this guy will do a really good job. I've seen what he does, because Linus is at a lot of the unlicensed shows as well. Because because of who he is. Because he's just such a nice bloke, isn't he?
He is.
He's the most nicest guy you'll ever meet. Yeah,
he's wild as well.
Yeah, he's
all time.
He's such a good guy, man. And and then he went and spoke to Steve Goodwin, and then I went in and done one show, and then after lockdown, Steve was like, can you come in and do another one? And that's when he come up to me and he went, now I can see why people were telling me to get you. He goes, because you do know what tunes to play and when to get the crowd going. So I love it, absolutely love it.
What is it, like a whole strategic build up of when and what? And
well, what I do is that on the earlier fights, I listen to what the people come down to the ring to. And then normally for the home fighter, so because they're predominantly fighting journeyman, is that I'll play sort of music. So say for instance, someone comes down to reggae, I'll play a bit of reggae, stuff like that. And then as the night builds up, I then start looking at sort of changing it up. So when it's like really busy, do you know what I mean? It's
controlling it.
Well, say for instance, end of round 5 and it's a 10-round fight. Drop a bit of Bon Jovi, Living on a Prayer, because it's halfway there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Everyone starts singing it. Some geezer gets sparked down, and he's got the standing 8 count, and then like the bell goes, and then you're playing Bob Marley, Three Little Birds, and everyone's like, don't worry about it.
It's the little things,
will be all right.
Details.
Yeah, so sometimes it's like literally I've got a tune lined up. I'm thinking, right, I'll play Sandstorm for this one, 'cause it's a bit beefy in this round. And then all of a sudden the geezer gets knocked down. I'm like, on the MacBook, flipping, typing it in, getting like Bob Marley on there, and then getting them going. And yeah, I love it, man. It's wicked. When you hear the crowd going and they're singing it, it feels unreal. It's wicked. Yeah, it's cool.
What did you do? Did you do DJing before?
Yeah, I still DJ now.
Oh, so
I predominantly like play what I market myself on is house remixes and mashups. Mm-hmm. So like I normally do that. Like I used to do the discos, but I just can't deal with people like that, man. Like discos are a nightmare.
Yeah.
So I started moving into that, then moved into sort of like mixing and doing the house music and everything, and then I started getting older, and I'm thinking, like I've done a couple of gigs abroad now. It's not going to go any further. I love boxing. I love fighting, and MMA and all of that. So decided to go that route, and yeah, it's wicked.
That's it.
Yeah, I love it.
It's a pretty sick way of doing it though as well, because it's that like it's a set way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like which is good, and there's always shows. There's shows weekly.
Yeah.
Especially for the smaller hall shows. Anyway, like
Yeah,
Goodwin's
definitely.
putting shows on like a lot of shows.
Yeah, see what he does every year. He normally does 2 months he'll do 2 separate months where he'll have a show on pretty much every week.
Yeah.
Throughout that month, and he's doing that this month. So you've got one this Saturday. There's a Luton Fighter Junior special fighting on that one.
Oh, is he from Luton? Is he?
Yeah, he's from Luton. Yeah.
Oh,
but what it is, he was in Luton, and then he moved to London. But he always says he's from Luton because like that's where I'm from. So he always promotes himself as being from there. So so he's fighting, and then the following week's the big one. But Luton are playing Wolves.
So you're going,
and I'm like, oh man, like
at home as well. Probably one of the only winnable games of the season.
Oh come on,
come on, man, we'll get into it. But check the stats.
Mads Anderson is going to take out Erling Haaland. I'm telling you, we're going to see something magical this year. But so there was the Wolves game. I was like, oh Steve, I don't know what to do. And he went, well, we've got a production team for it, but if you was available, we'd have you do it because we prefer you doing it. And I'm like, oh man, like I've got to do the football in it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But I'd love to have done that show because like I know he's getting a big production for this one, all the screens and all that. He's got Brad Paul's fighting for a title. I think he's got about 4 title fights on.
Oh, that must be that.
That's the English title.
Yeah. So Brad Paul's
not eliminated. The English title.
Yeah, it's actually the English title.
Yeah.
I know there's like English title, you've got a couple of southern areas in there, and then you've got some eliminators as well. He said it's the biggest card he's ever put on.
Yeah.
So me not being there, I'm devastated.
That Brad Paul's fight would be a good fight, to be fair.
Did he not
Yeah.
his last fight?
Yeah, he lost his last fight.
That was for
he lost his last for the English. He lost against Denny, didn't he?
Yeah.
On
Tyler
Boxer.
Denny,
But then I think he had a fight after that in Newquay or somewhere around there where he's from.
Guy?
No, that was
that's
the
Tyler
one.
Denny. Because what a lot of them do is they have the filler fight. So like Linus fought Robbie Chapman, who's most probably one of the best journeymen in the game. Like honestly,
he classed himself as, didn't he?
Yeah, but he is. Honestly,
you said best looking journeyman in the game.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about
Robbie,
that either.
Robbie, if you're watching, don't hit me on Saturday. But like, he's incredible. So like, Linus had him as a filler. So from what I gather, Brad would have had that as his filler fight, and then boom,
yeah. But would you like all that sort of stuff? Because I've been like Louis Norman, he's a journeyman as well, and Frankie obviously fought him, and because Frankie fought him, I was kind of following him a little bit.
Yeah.
And he done an interview the other day, and he was kind of basically saying that they think they could win the fight, but they only really give 50%.
Yeah.
Which to me is just cheating.
What it is, like, from what I gather, like, because when I first come into it and I heard about journeyman, I was a bit like, they're just cannon fodder basically. But it's to prepare fighters. So I know that sometimes there's a brief. Like there was one promotion where I actually heard someone speak to the journeyman going, you know what to do today, all right? And he's like, yeah, don't worry, no worries. But it's to kind of prepare them for pro fights.
Yeah.
What's his name? Ellis Stewart fought a journeyman on Saturday. Like, personally, like, I thought the journeyman was quite unlucky in that fight, but the guy was gunning for him. Do you know what I mean? He nearly sparked him out. So they have briefs of what they've got to do. And,
but some of them will go for it.
Yeah.
And some of them will be like, all right, well, I'll just do
a lot of them
it's a weird, it's weird, isn't it?
They have to be careful because Poochie, like Lewis Van Poch, he's like had over 150 fights, basically mainly as a journeyman, and he, because he was on his last year, he started sparking people out.
Yeah.
And then he was getting promoters coming up to him going, you're not booked anymore.
Yeah.
He's like, that fight next week's cancelled. He had people actually say, we don't want to fight him now, and it's getting cancelled on. Well,
but then can't he excel in his career, or they just don't want him?
No, because the thing is, what it is, that a lot of people going to being a journeyman is because they're not big ticket sellers. Because Robbie Chapman, if I'm being honest, he could most probably easily be English, if not British standard in how he fights. But because he's not a big ticket seller, they can be journeyman. Now, they can do 4 fights in a month sometimes. Like, I know that Robbie done 6 fights in 6 weeks, and you're getting good money because you get a cut of the other fighters' money. You get you get a cut of that. Obviously, you get the other fees as well. So it's lucrative.
They're on like good money. Yeah. Some of them are, especially the female journey women, I suppose. Yeah. They're on good money because there's not a lot of them about. Nah. So they're hard to get in sometimes.
Yeah. Man, fair play to them though, them journeymen. They do make money. I've been at shows where I've done 2 weeks, and you see the same person the following week. They've gone and fought 6 rounds, and then the following week they're going and doing another 6 rounds. Where pros can't do that really.
Well, because when Robbie Chapman fought Reynolds, I don't even think he was classed as a journeyman then. Because his record was still like 6-6.
Yeah, he'd switched over a few before that. Because Robbie's about, I think on Saturday he's doing his 50th fight.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it's his 50th fight.
Shit, he was on 6-6 then. That was only like 4 years ago.
Yeah, but that's what I mean.
50 fights in 4 years.
Yeah.
But do they not sit there and think like, right, it's decent money, but it's not like footballer wage. It's not like 50 grand a week, 60 grand a week. It's like a couple grand a week, which is good for the average Joe. But they're probably taking like 10 years off their life.
Yeah, well,
realistically, they like
pay your mortgage off early, go on nice holidays.
For your 50s and 60s, you'll be living.
But saying that though, Robbie Chapman's defence is insane. Like, don't get me wrong, against Jordan.
Depends how much of a bashing they're taking, realistically.
Yeah, but like Robbie, if you actually watch him fight, he gets dropped very rarely. Because his defence is incredible. I've watched him fight where he's just defended for a fight, and it's mad. And then you see him give a couple of digs and that. And yeah, the guy, most of them journeymen are most probably a lot better than some of the guys that are fighting.
So are they telling the other fighters, then, like the journeyman people, like, well, you can't really knock him out, or try not to knock him out because he's got a fight next week?
Well, you say that, but then on one of the Goodwin shows, there was 3 journeymen, and they sparked everyone out one after the other. So they do win.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Does happen, yeah.
It does happen a lot.
Because like when I was watching another journeyman on a podcast speaking, this was on a bigger podcast. I don't know whose it was. It was a big one though, and he was saying like, yeah, they like. When you're a journeyman, you know the game. Like you go in there, you kind of tap, move around, you give them good rounds. But he goes, one geezer was just like taking the piss and trying to stop him. So he come out in the later rounds and just battered him and beat him from pillar to post and stopped him.
Yeah.
And but do the other people, so say like Linus going into a fight, will they say to Linus, oh, don't like try not to stop him? Like, don't stop him.
I doubt it if a pro's fighting a pro, but I could see that
You
maybe
could see on some occasions,
journeyman, but you know, like they're there for a purpose. They're there to give a boxer experience. You know,
they should be a little level up.
Yeah. They like, it's like, for instance.
That's what I always thought it was.
What do you mean, sorry?
I always thought journeyman were just like like the next step for a professional. So like it's their next challenge, but they're not too challenging.
To be fair, most of them are like insanely good.
But this is what I'm saying. They're insanely good. But surely, but why? I know you're not a big. I know it's probably harder at the smaller levels because you have to sell tickets. But could they not just try go on a run? Because surely, the more you win, the more you're going to get noticed to go on a bigger show, whether you sell tickets or you don't sell. Well, unless I don't know how it works into that deep level of it. But
then again, I suppose if you can fight sort of sometimes 3 times a month, and you'll get in, say, $1,000 or 500 or whatever they get. I know that sometimes they can get a lot, especially when on the TV shows. You know, you can do that, or you can fight for titles. It's like, you know, sometimes I suppose if you're money orientated and you think you're not going to get past, say, Southern area, why not just do it and then fight 3 times?
They are not earning what?
Yeah, they're earning good money, but that's why they're so good in defence though, because they can't if they get knocked down and they've got a concussion, they're not allowed to fight for like so many months. This is why you'll see journeymen a lot of the time defending and that, because they don't want to get sparked. So yeah, but they are decent. Like, as I say, Robbie Chapman and Lewis, like Poochie, they were just unreal. Unreal.
Yeah.
Now they're probably just making cream, aren't they?
Yeah. That's mad. I can't believe he's on like 50 fights now. He's on 6 and 6.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He messaged me the other day and he's like, right, this is my tune for this fight. And I swear he said it was either this one, next one is 50th. And he was like, and then I've got to change to like a different genre of music. So I'm like, all right, Robbie, no worries. You just send me what you want, Robbie. I've got you covered, man.
He's a proper character as well, isn't he, when
brilliant.
you go on his Instagram.
You know what? He's the nicest guy you'll ever meet. He'll even rocks up and he's like, oh, you're right, I've made you some flapjacks and that. And you're like, oh, cheers, mate. And you're standing there having a little nibble. Now, damn good as well. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, he's a really nice guy.
Yeah,
one of the nicest guys you'll meet in boxing, him and Poochie, definitely.
So you like a proper boxing fan as well then? Or have you got into being like a big boxing fan through DJ and the events?
Well, no, because my dad was always into boxing. So I remember being a little kid and we'd be round my nan's house and there'd be like Frank Bruno on the telly, because they'd be on terrestrial telly, and Frank Bruno and Mike Tyson, and you know, you'd get excited when Mike Tyson's on because you know he's going to batter anyone he was in the ring against. So we done that, but like my whole family, we all did karate in that. So like my dad was my instructor and everything, and so like we've always been into the fight game. So whether it be boxing, whether it be like MMA, you know, like the original. I remember we had all the video cassettes. You guys most probably don't even know what they are. VHS, man.
Oh yeah, I know the VHS, but
we had all the VHSs of like the original UFC and all of that, where it was no holds barred. You know, like, so yeah, we've always been into the fighting. So, but boxing, I do love my boxing, man. I love watching it. I don't care what level it is or who's fighting on the telly. If there's boxing on, me and the missus normally like sit there on a Saturday night and we
put it on,
flick it straight on. Yeah.
What about mixed martial arts? Are you big on that?
I used to watch it all the time, and then I got the ump because BT Sport. I was paying monthly, and then they wanted me to pay more to watch the big ones. I had the ump, so I like dished it off. But I watch it occasionally, but not as much as what I did. But you know, I've done bits for like Battle Arena and stuff like that, and some other promotions. So I still like got the finger in the pie. Yeah. But I don't watch it as much as the other stuff.
Yeah, because MMA, they don't really have that the journeyman. To my knowledge, anyway, I didn't know if they do, but I didn't think they did.
He's tapped in.
Yeah, he's tapped in. You know, just the guy to ask.
Duncan Jalali, on his first fight, in his first pro fight at Houghton Regis, they drafted in a journeyman. Okay. And I was shocked because I was thinking, an MMA journeyman, you're not going to be out to fight every week. And like Duncan, like, battered this guy, man.
We were filming there as well.
Yeah, it's like his leg was knackered, his face was like a mess, and I'm just like, man, are you meant to be fighting next week as well? Because I don't think it's going to happen somehow. But yeah, I don't think it did. But they do have journeymen, which I was really surprised about.
It's a little bit more brutal, isn't it? Like,
yeah,
you don't really want to be taking that much licks in MMA, like being a journeyman.
Nah, stuff that, getting like elbowed in the face and kneed in the head and that.
Maybe it's more that like upper echelon level, like the Cage Warriors. But then to get into Cage Warriors, you're not really going to be a journeyman, are you? You're going to have to be a good fighter just to get into Cage Warriors, let alone. So maybe it's when you get to that level, it kind of just, because the UFC, like, you got to be good to get into the UFC. You can't just be anyone.
Be your best, man. Them and Bellator, innit?
Yeah.
You know, you've got to be on point if you're going to be fighting in that promotion.
And I think Bellator's been brought out now by PFL as well.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I think PFL's buying Bellator out.
Oh,
Where's
right.
Bellator from? UK?
Yeah, USA.
USA.
I was gutted because what's it? The PF. What do you call it?
PFL.
That's it, yeah, PFL. So I couldn't get my words out. I need some juice. Yeah, I had one of the production guys that was at MTK, and he come up to me when I was doing, which one was it? That's when I was doing the weigh-ins for KingPyn. He went, I want you for PFL. Can you come to Cardiff? I'm like, yeah, man. And he was like, and then we've got another one up north. Do you want it? I was like, yeah, I do. He's like, give me your number. It's like, boom, there's my card. I went home all excited, never heard back. I was absolutely gutted. I was like, it's like, like when you wake up in the morning, you open your eyes, you're like, yeah. PFL, big arena, and all this, and then, nothing.
Yeah.
Nah, nothing. So I was like, a bit heartbroken, but oh well, is what it is, isn't it?
It'll come though one day because you're in the right places.
I'm getting a bit old though now, I've not got many years left in the tank of the DJ, and I'll start looking like one of them really old guys that everyone thinks is a bit of a weirdo and upskirts. I don't want to be that guy, man.
But how did you actually get into DJ? Like, why did you start?
It was weird actually, because what it is, I had a mate. His name was Nathan. He unfortunately he's not with us now. And he was like, I'm going to start DJing, and I'm like, all right, cool. And then he'd talk on the mic, and I'm not going to lie, it sounded really bad. So I was like, well, why don't you do DJing and I'll do the mic? He's like, all right, wicked. So we go and do discos and that, and I'd do all the mic work, he'd do the DJing. And then one day I was just sitting in my local pub, having an underage pint as you do, and they're DJing. They went, oh, your dad said you're a DJ. I was like, no, I'm not. I do a microphone. He went, listen, I've got to shoot out. There's 4 pints behind the bar for you. I'll be back in an hour. There's all my CDs. There's the stuff. Crack on. And I'm like, right, okay. And he just quickly showed me how to work the stuff. Done the hour. Ended up doing another hour. 6 pints in. Do you know what I mean? I was pretty battered at that point. And then he come up to me and he's like, right, meet me on Thursday. You're going to have a residency in the Sugarloaf in Dunstable. I was like, what? I haven't got CDs enough. He's like, no, you'll borrow mine whilst you build it. And that's how it begun. Yeah. So it literally begun through me just sitting in a pub. And then a guy come up to me. Obviously, that's how it all begun. And then it just grew from there. So I started doing discos. Then I got fed up of discos. And then, then started doing like bars and clubs. And I've done 4 gigs in Norway. And then there's the boxing stuff. And it's just like, it's mad, really. It's mad because I'm just like some geezer from Dunstable that does go bowling every other Friday. And then all these other bits have been happening. So it's like, it's really cool.
This is like grown and grown and growing.
Yeah, it has. I love it though, because I gave myself goals. Do you know what I mean? I gave myself goals, and like the next one I want's an arena show. And then if I get an arena show, I'll happily retire. Not that I will, because the money's too good. But, I could step back then and say, I've done it now. So that's the next one.
So you just want to kind of get in there and actually do it? Because that'd be like bouncing an arena show, wouldn't it?
I just want one. If I can get one and say I've done it, just say I've done one, then I'll be happy, because then that'll be the pinnacle. Because as soon as I hit the pro game, I was like, right, that's it. I've done my goals. And then it was like, no, I want a bit more than that. I wouldn't mind like O2 Indigo, something like that. And then I got that. And then it's like, now I want that. But like the dream would be Wembley, obviously.
Yeah.
You get like something like Tyson Fury versus flipping Usyk.
Then you'll be in with them though, man.
AJ. Oh man,
you'll be in.
It'd be legendary.
Do they get like for them big shows just one DJ though? Like do they go through the sound company? Because I know that Total Sounds do quite a lot of. Yeah. Like they'll do the music and set up all the lights, and they kind of do it as a big package.
Yeah, I know that
film.
No, not film. Just the lights, I think, and the sound. And
I know Boxer have a resident. Because when I spoke to the guy that used to be at Goodwin, he said, look, we've got a resident, but I have said, like, if anything happens, we've got a guy sort of there. So I was like, do you know what I mean? Like, fitting all excited again. But yeah, I know that they do have residents with like Boxer and all of that. So it's just a case of it's just a waiting game.
Yeah.
Your face has got to fit as well, and you've got to know the right people, and you've got to have the fingers in the pies. So I'll hopefully get there.
Yeah, no, that's good, man.
Networking, isn't it?
Yeah,
you're in the right places for it.
Oh, definitely. So. Well, that was it. Like when I got MTK, I thought, this is it. I've done it. Like, because I've got MTK.
MTK's a good one.
Well, yeah, and it was live on ESPN in America and all of this, and I'm like, wow, this is, even though it's like it was at York Hall, so I was like, man, this is a pretty big deal. And then the guy that was running it, he was like this big, tall Scottish guy. He come up to me at the end. He was like, spot on. Do you want to be our resident? I'm like, yeah, go on then. what was it, 3 days later, it all pops up. MTK's like done, and it's not coming back. And I was just like, oh man, come on. They do it all over Europe and that. And I was thinking, get me on the plane.
They had a double. I think they might have been doing stuff in Dubai as well.
Yeah.
Towards the end, didn't it? They were in Dubai, so
that's where they were based.
So they couldn't come over and get them.
I don't know all the ins and outs of that. Better not say it on the podcast.
Jordan was with her money.
Yeah, Reynolds was signed by him, and I think he had to get out of his contract or something like that. Something happened.
Well, I think they all got released. Literally every single, they had even like Sam Gilly. Like, I don't know if you've watched Sam Gilly.
Yeah. Well, he does the commentary he just done the top tier commentary, Sam Gilly, I think.
Yeah, he's incredible. He was with MTK and like you've just seen him now sort of getting in with Boxer and all of that. And
is he young?
I don't know, but you know what? He's one of them really good-looking boxers. Like, it makes me feel sick. Do you know what I mean? He has a living where you're meant to get punched in the face.
Yeah, and he still
kind of
looks
like
slick.
Handsome-looking guy, TV presenter, misses, and all of that. And and he's boxing and that. Yeah,
because he's fighting.
Sam Gilly, if you're watching this, you make me feel sick.
He's sort of. He's fighting for some sort of title on a boxer card, isn't he?
Yes,
I think I seen it the other day. Maybe a British title. Something like that, yeah.
To be fair, the fight he had at MTK was most probably one of the best fights I've ever seen in my life. It was the biggest barnstorm I've ever seen. Literally, he sparked the guy out in the end, but it could have gone either way. They were literally pummeling each other in the face, and it's incredible.
That's when fights are good, exciting.
Yeah,
you don't know either way it could go, and then someone puts someone out.
Yeah, literally, that's the thing. Everyone was standing there like. It's like, man, this other guy's going to win. Then it's like, hang on a minute. And then all of a sudden, like, I've even got a video of it and there's blood flying everywhere. And it was nuts.
Mental.
Yeah, one of them you need to step back a bit, otherwise you're going to get blood on you.
Yeah, well, that was literally like the other day at Jordan's fight. I was sitting there and in the last round, I lasted forever, no blood on me. And in the last round, I just feel splat on my T-shirt and on my arm. I'm like...
Weren't a white T-shirt, was it?
Bluey. It's out, though. It wasn't a lot of blood on the T-shirt. It's more on my arm.
That's all right then, man. I was going to say...
yeah, white T-shirt, you're out. Yeah. But I thought, I was like, maybe I'm a bit... But I was in the front row of that, like, round the ring. And I'd prefer to sit higher though anyway, to be fair, because when you're under the ropes and you're looking in, it's a bit I feel like I'm in Kenilworth Road, like trying to look around the poles and that,
or you like got a duck and weave boxing like yourself, you know what I mean? All that.
But sometimes being a bit higher than the ropes, you can just see straight in, nothing in your way. So obviously you done the DJ and you done the boxing events, but how did you get involved with the Luton Town stuff, like announcing? And
man, I was 16 and I was a YTS in a leisure centre. Don't know why I chose that career path at the time, but I did. And then Luton were advertising for a job. I better not say what it is and all that jazz. So advertising for a job. So I rang them up and said, I'm ringing about the job and that. And they're like, yeah, no worries. Like, come and start on Saturday and like we'll give you 20 quid. And I'm like, wow, it's half a week's wages. We'll have a slice of that. And I've literally been there ever since. So,
all right, you've been there for years.
This is my 26th season. So, like, last year I got presented a signed shirt from Mick Hartford after 25 years, man. It was wicked. I was there most probably about 4 years. And then my mate Justin Dealey was doing the PA. And then I'd just do little bits and I'd cover him on bits here and there. And then one day, the then club secretary, Cherry Newby, said, look, Justin, we need you to do this. They had like, it's like an agent's day, where all agents turn up and then all players that have been released come along and play like 2 or 3 games in a day. She was like, can Justin do it? He was like, I can't because I'm on the radio. And she was like, Darren, can you do it? So I like rung in sick for a day and I went and done it. And then, so I done the PA there and she's like, right, we'll start getting you to like proper get involved now and cover Justin when he can't do it. So then, so I started covering. And then it just went from there, really. And I've been doing the halftime announcing now. I can't even remember how long it's been. So, I've been there a while.
Do you ever do any of the stuff before when they're coming out and announcing like the numbers and stuff?
Yeah. So I do that as cover. Like I've done loads of games doing it. Like you'll always know when I'm doing it.
Because I always thought you were doing it.
No, I didn't know. It was sort of like Matt Crawley was doing it, and then I would do the halftime stuff. But you always know when I'm doing it because of the change in music. So like suddenly you've got Sandstorm and.
More
like I start like I lose it. I sit there and I'm like, right, what tunes am I going to put on? And then I always make sure I have Lenny Kravitz. So you'll always know if it's me because Lenny Kravitz, Are You Going to Go My Way? I always play that to read the team out the first time because I always think, let's put a bit of a build-up tune on and so you know it's me if you get the the big ones.
Yeah.
If it starts being like everyone, all my mates, and even mate Matty that was doing it, he goes, whenever you cover it, it's like a Dutch rave, man.
It's good at half time though, man. Especially at football. Sometimes it's a bit, especially if the game's a bit dull and it's a bit like you need to pump the crowd back up or get the crowd hyped before the players even come out.
Yeah.
So it's quite an important. You underestimate how important the role actually is.
Yeah,
to
mate.
do.
Well, yeah, 100%. You do.
Yeah, I've loved it in that. Do you know what I mean? It's got its down points and everything, but I've loved it. And then obviously, like when you do the little rally cry, that's what we always called it, the rally cry. That's where I lose the plot. They have they have to turn the microphone down and everything because in the PA box, the first time we did it with the new system, the actual light started flickering because it was that loud. Like it was just like overpowering everything.
Yeah.
So, like, Matt was like, right, we'll turn the microphone down. So now they have to like turn it down whenever I was doing it. So. Yeah.
Because what they used to play like back in the day, the boys are back in town.
Yeah.
Or something like, before they used to come out.
Yeah.
And then they changed all that. You're not feeling that one.
No. That's like because what it is. Whenever I DJ for the England games in like pubs or like HQ Sports Bar and stuff like that, I always played Tintin Out, Strings of Yasmin. And then one day Matt sat there and he was like, Darren, you heard this tune? I'm like, yeah, mate, it's the one I played for the England games. He's like, right, this is it, and that's what we've used now for the last 3-4 years.
Yeah,
because it's just an absolute banger. And it proper gets you going. Yeah. I think like Boys Back in Town. It's just a bit
gay.
A bit.
Trying to get the man cancelled out here.
Do not agree with homophobia.
He does not share the same values as the Curious VG team.
Need to beat that bit out, and then people can wonder what he did say. But yeah, no, I think when a team comes out, they need to come out to like. Yeah, because I used to do like a local team. I used to bring them out to a tune called Baddest Roughest, and it was just like just an absolute mental tune. Like have a Google of it later. Just type Baddest Roughest.
It sounds bad. It sounds Baddest Roughest.
It just goes like, with all these like massive beats going, and I love all of that stuff, man. So I've always been a bit
hype man.
Yeah, I love playing a hype tune.
Yeah,
because I play house music most of the time. Yeah, I love upbeat sort of like bangers that get you going. You know? Yeah. Love it.
What about like doing the parties and that? Do you still enjoy doing that sort of stuff, or is it a bit too late?
I don't do parties no more, man. Nah. It all come to a close where I done they're actually my neighbour now, but they're a family friend. I done his 50th birthday party, and then a geezer come up to me at the end. So I'll turn the speakers round. I've just got something on quiet whilst I'm packing away. He was like, right, play some Motown. I was like, mate, the night finished 15 minutes ago. I'm literally just packing away. He was like, play Motown now, or I'll finish her. I'm sorry. Oh no, I can't hit him. But I'll be professional. I was like, listen, mate, I've had a really good night. He went, no, you're not. You're rubbish. He was calling me every name under the sun. I was like, well, I don't think the 150 people on the dance floor thought it was right. It was all like that. And then he called me a name that I won't repeat on here, and I lost it.
Yeah.
And I was you know what? I was about to do like a Superman off the stage. I thought, no, I can't do it. I was most probably I'd have been in my 20s at this point. And then I saw the guy talking to my dad. And my dad's like, he's like legend and that, he's like big in Crichton and everything. And then my dad's talking to him, and then oh, you're right, son. Great night, by the way. Great night. Looked at him and went, yeah, cheers, Dad. And then he was like you could see, the old bum started, bum squeeze started twitching, and then then I left there after that. I thought, I'm done with this. So I can't be dealing with it. So that's why I started doing the bars and all that. Because if anyone does your nut, you just tell the doorman and they throw them out.
Yeah,
just makes life a bit easier. Oh, drunk people do my nutting when I'm DJing.
Yeah,
honestly,
play this one for me.
It's like you're in the middle of a house set and it's advertised like house. You right, mate? Don't suppose you can play like Shakira Hips Don't Lie? You're like pointing at the poster. Yeah, but that's all right. And you can play that. It's like, no, I can't. All right, Sweet Caroline. Right, you don't understand. It says house night and it does your nutting. When people are drunk, the stories I could tell you about drunk people, I won't say it on air, but shocking.
They're for the after hours. They're the after hours story.
yeah. Curious for gin after hours.
Edge.
No, I was going to say, I was seeing an app recently where a DJ can have it and people can download it as well that are in the in the facility.
And they
pay a donation for the song, and you can either accept it as a DJ or not.
Yeah.
Do you think that's a good idea?
See, that's an American thing, isn't it? I can imagine in America they'll love all that. Like, yeah, I'll give you $10 to play Sweet Caroline. They're like, oh my God, $10? Yeah, we'll take that. You know what I mean? But you know what the English people are like, innit? Like, well, hang on, I've got to pay you to play a track. Do one, mate. Yeah. We're different over here in this neck of the woods. Like in America, they love all that, don't they? Yeah. But yeah, I can definitely not see that hitting off because I think people just loot. Could you imagine going to a venue? I'll throw it back at you. If you walked into a venue and there's a QR code saying, scan this, download this app, give the DJ an offer and they might pay your track, would you get the
I think, do you know what? If I waved back in the day, I probably would have done it.
If I was drunk,
yeah. If I was smashed, I'd probably be like, £5, bless you, man. I probably would have been like...
That's the worst girly laugh I've ever done now. No, really?
Yeah, I probably would have.
It's like a jukebox.
I know, but sometimes, like, you know when you're just bare smashing, you just really want to hear a tune.
Yeah, but do you know what I mean? Pay for it.
I feel like we've been out.
I would have been certain
DJs and just ended up getting your phone out, man, and played it in your ear. I feel like I've done that.
Dude,
I'd rather just pay for it.
I've had people come up to me before, go, have you got this tune? No. Okay, can I play it to you? No, you can't because I haven't got it. Well, can you plug my phone into your equipment? No, you can't. Why not? Because I've got decent equipment. Like, I was like, I'm not letting you plug into it. And they're like, oh, come on, play my tune. It's like, literally pestering you for hours. I've had people come up singing to me. Have you got this song? What's it called? I don't know. All right, okay, well, if you don't know, how can I play it? Let me sing it to you. And then, yeah, that's awful. And then another guy even started MCing. Give me the mic and MC. I'm like, no, mate, no. This was at Bar Chameleon years ago. So he stood there. I kid you not, for 25 minutes for every track I'm playing, go, and I'm just like, mate, honestly, in the end, I had to just say, please leave me alone. But yeah, you get it all, man. But yeah, no, I wouldn't. Back to your question, no, I wouldn't pay. It's not happening, man. I wouldn't pay. If you boys want to, though, I'll set up a night and I'll put the app on and I'll just play it.
That was opposite Sugarloaf, isn't it?
Yeah, I was one of the originals in there.
That's before me. That's before my time, Bar C.
That's a long time ago. That's over 20 years ago.
Yeah,
it's a long time.
Was you going Bar C? Was that before?
I think I was the cut-off.
Yeah.
I wasn't young though.
Everywhere's shut down though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like Cookies, to be fair, I didn't think Cookies was ever that great anyway, but
it's a bit too small.
Yeah, Cookies.
I don't think
HQ. I'm surprised HQ shut down.
I was devastated.
Yeah,
I was devastated.
They had a right little setup.
They had a real good setup.
The problem is though, is that if you had like an AJ fight, you're getting 500 people. You got the World Cup, the Euros, getting 500 people. But then if you've not got the week trade, it's difficult. And Jamie put so much into that place. Like, I kid you not, Jamie Ed is most probably one of the hardest workers I've ever worked with in my life. And the amount of love and the effort he put into that place, and to see it then go, it was devastating because that place for England games was
popping. When the England games on, it's popping. It was good.
That was one of like my favourite times. That's most probably one of my favourite times DJing. Yeah. Was at HQ doing them England games. It was just big going everywhere. I they even had to make little like blocks to put over my decks because beer was literally coming everywhere. It's just it was mad.
Yeah, it was heaving in there as well.
Yeah.
Did they ever try to like maybe just turn it into a restaurant during the week or something like that?
Yeah, it was.
Did they?
Yeah, it was. It done really nice food.
Yeah.
Yeah, a guy called Jack Wright and another guy Adam. They were the chefs in there, and the food was like lush. But it was all American food, so it's kind of.
It was just known as like sports bar, innit? People.
It's such a shame because it was probably one of the best.
It was good. It was
the best venue. Yeah. I personally think it was one of the best venues Dunstables ever.
And it was a nice venue, like big, spacious. You had the upstairs bit.
Yeah.
Like it was a big venue.
Yeah, it was
maybe
wicked.
too fucking big.
I think that's what the problem was because the rent on that was
mega
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, ridiculous amount of money.
What have they done with it now then?
It's a dance studio.
Yeah?
Yeah. So like they do dance classes and they hire out halls in there to other dance.
Please hire out certain parts.
Yeah. So it's like, it's devastating.
Yeah, it is.
Every time like I go to the Grove Theatre, I sort of walk past and have to wipe a little tear.
Yeah.
Away from my eye, just remembering what was there. Do you know what I mean? It was ledge. Best times of my life in there, legendary.
I do want to go back to the Luton stuff as well, because we were talking off air about the abuse, if you ever got abuse or anything like that. What is that like? Because we know what the Luton fans are they can be a bit extra, but they're obviously, like you said, they're the best fans in the world as well.
Oh man,
so
Luton fans in my eyes, they are the best fans in the country bar none. And you know, sorry, and I'm one of them. As are you boys as well. You know, we are the best fans in the world. But yeah, you do get online abuse, man, and it can cut a bit deep at times because it's proper personal. There was one time like my phone pinged about 30 times in 15 minutes on Twitter, and it was literally shocking. Like, I mean, some of the stuff was vile, and it's just, you imagine sitting there and you're just like, man, why? Do you know what I mean? And I inboxed quite a few of them saying, like, because with some of them they were like really personal, like, oh, like, I know him personally, he's blah 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 blah, and I'd message them and say, listen, how do you know me? And by the way, if you want, meet me at the Glider pub in Dunstable and you can tell me everything to my face, but nicely. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, look, you know, if you've got a problem with what I'm doing, you know, come and speak to me. And because that's why I put, like, I recently put up a tweet about it because it become a bit too much. It was proper messing with my head, and I've got enough problems to deal with. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I even put a thing up saying I've deliberately left my DMs open. So if you've got a problem with what I do or with what Matt does or Johnny, the new guy, or anything like that, you can DM me.
But why are they so angry?
I don't
know. About what? Like announcing half-time stuff and before the game stuff?
Like when I bring the players out for the second half, and I do the rally cry. I used to say Luton boys because of the chant. You know, oh, we're the Luton boys. And then they'd go mad. What? Why are you saying Luton boys? I'm like, well, because, name me a chant where we say Luton boys. Like, well, this one and that one, and yeah, and then they proper go into one. But yeah, it's like
they're upset.
It's getting woke. The town's getting woke.
It's like, you know, it is hard to deal with, man. It is hard because it's like, you know, I love that club. Like, I love that club so much, man. Like, because I used to fight in karate and stuff, and then I had to stop doing it, and then football become my outlet, and you know, and I literally love going to Kenilworth Road. I love doing all of that stuff, and you know, as I say, best fans in the world. But then when you start getting that abuse, man, it's just like it's like, it feels like these are my people, or like all together we're all like, we're all in the same boat. We're all there for the same reason, because we love that team and we want to see them succeed, and we've now seen them succeed, and we've been on that massive journey. It's like, what? Why?
You're only human as well.
Yeah. Why have a go at me? Like, sometimes people are, oh, you're over passionate, and it's like, what? Yeah, but I love it.
You lot are fools. If you're watching this and you're one of them.
It's just someone just wanting to moan.
Yeah,
or wanting to, or pissed off and wanting got problems themselves and wanting to take it out on someone and something. Because I just don't know how you can really get so annoyed over someone.
Is that the first time you've like had it like on a big scale? Did you
that one was
always thought you could deal with it?
Yeah, you know what? When it first happened, I found it quite funny. So, hey, got my first official trial, take a screenshot, send it to the boys in the group chat, you know, and then it was that day. So it was when I was working in education at the time. And it was that day where it hit me hard. It was like having 30 messages, and I'm just like what? Like, how comes all these people hate me so much, man? Like, you know, I'm just doing my job, and
I feel like you've done something wrong.
Yeah, and it's a bit like, you know, it does affect you, and I'll never forget the next game after that. I was like sick in the morning. I felt really anxious. I was worried about going on the pitch. I was like, man, like everyone hates me, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But then you go to the tunnel. And when, say for instance, you're walking out, there's these guys on the right, and I love them, and they always pick you up because like, right, we're ready for you, and then they start doing that. Come on, we want it, so here we go, and all of that. Yeah. And they really pick me up. There's like these great, they're absolutely brilliant, these lads. So sort of that then sort of calmed me down a bit. But yeah, you do get abused for it, man. Like Sunderland, literally this guy's been abusing me all season. I can't even repeat the sort of things he said.
Sunderland at home.
Yeah, in the playoff game. Yeah. And then I always chose not to look at him, because if I look at him, I'm going to lose my temper.
Yeah.
And then he just pointed at me, and then I heard the voice, and he just started literally abusing me. And I was like, man, I've got to walk away. Do you know what I mean? I've got to walk away, because I was thinking, I spoke to the steward. I'm like, dude, I can't. Nah, this ain't right. Do you know what I mean? And to be fair, the steward sorted it out.
Yeah.
But it was awful. And as I say, it's not nice to hear. It's like, it makes you understand like how bad it is for like people in the public eye, because I just got 30 messages. You imagine the messages that they get, and it's like having just a small sliver of that. It just like wow.
I don't think it's good for no.
Yeah, because that's what I've always thought. I'm like, but why don't they just like go off Instagram or turn their phone off or whatever?
Yeah.
But obviously you've felt it like on a small scale, but a big scale compared to people who've had none. And you're saying like, it's. Did you think? Like you said, did you always think like if you was a celebrity, you'd be able to handle it or something like that.
I did always think like, oh, surely they can handle it, you know, because they're all on good money and all this and that. But it cuts deep, man. Especially when like other things get mentioned, maybe about like family and stuff like that, and then you're just like, oh my God, like what is wrong with these people?
Yeah,
you know, like as I was saying to you, we're all in the same boat. We're all together as one.
That's
you know,
sad, that is, man.
It is, but I've got to say, fair play to Stuart at the club, because he rung me up because he actually saw some on a different game, and he rung me up and he's like, right, I've reported them to Twitter. We're blocking them off our page. We're gonna do what we can, and he's like really good with that. So like even the one the other day, I just sent a screenshot, sent it to him, and he's like, I'm on it. So you know that he's a good support there. He's a really good guy.
And they're actually doing stuff about it, which is good as well.
Yeah, it needs to be done. It needs to be done. Like, you know, I think more needs to be done in general, because it does affect you. And, you know, and I think the thing is that people are sending you this abuse, but they don't know what's going on in your life. You know, they don't know what's going on in your head. And then it's sort of like, you know, I can see why people like...
Crack,
yeah. Like, I can see why Caroline Flack, do you know what I mean? I wouldn't ever go that far, do you know what I mean? I had too much to live for. But you can see why, because if it's that constant, your phone's going constant, it's... Yeah, it's,
like I said, when you got yourself in a state, you don't know what people can do. You don't know how they're hurting.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's sad.
It is sad.
It is.
It's hard, man. Because like, you know, at the time, you know, there was I had a lot going on in my personal life, and then I'm getting all of this stuff and that, and then it literally like I went home and I felt down.
I know, like you said, going on the pitch. You always go on the pitch, and now you got anxiety and you feel sick. Well,
you imagine you're standing there in front of 10,000 people, and then you're thinking that could have been him tweeting, that could have been him doing it. It could have been anyone, but you know. It's hard, man. It's hard, but is what it is. It's part and parcel of it, I suppose. But it shouldn't be, but it happens, man. That's why we're protecting the new PA announced, like, don't go on Twitter. Whatever you do, don't go on Twitter. Get off the forums, like the unofficial forums. Just don't get involved.
Don't even have it,
because don't go on like outlaws.
Because even though you say you'd be mentally, I always said I would be, but you don't know until it happens to you.
And
like you said, you don't know how you could be feeling on that day.
Yeah. Well, it's like the guy that put the original message out. I messaged him direct, and I just said, I can't believe that a supporter of the club that we love has just posted that online and allowed that to open up for me to get loads of abuse. I said, could you imagine how I'm feeling right now? And he was like, oh, I'm so sorry, mate. I'll delete it. And then deleted it. He was like, oh, I'm really sorry. I never thought. And I thought, well, maybe rather than writing something nasty about me, just drop me an inbox. I said, it's quite simple. I said, look, you're inboxing me now. Just inbox me. It's not an issue. Like, that's why I keep all my inboxes open, man.
How mad is it, though, someone's even got time to...
Yeah, it's mad. It is mad.
Yeah. Like, I think in life, we're all guilty of doing it at some point, you know, especially when you're younger and you go on Twitter and you're like, oh, there's a celebrity there. And, and then you kind of like, then you, oh, no, actually, no, that's not right, and all this and that. So I'm not going to say I'm a saint, but... You know, but you can understand why these celebrities and stuff like that get so affected by it. Because as I say, mine's minor.
But you got a small skimmage of just what they feel. Like you had a taste.
Yeah, and I didn't like it, man.
Yeah, you had a little taste.
It's like eating vegetables, man. I don't like it. It's like fat.
Imagine it on a massive scale, man. That is...
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad. It needs to stop. Twitter need to get on that, because it's rife. Literally, I go on there all the time. And
I don't know how they can stop it, though.
Just fit in, start like Facebook, innit? You put the swear word on there and it pops up with a little sign. If you post this, you'll get a ban.
Oh, is that how it's working? I'm not really a Facebook
that's what I've had about
fan, but then I don't really
bans,
swear on social media anyway, so I'm like...
Nah.
Just stay off of that.
Yeah, stay away from it, lads.
And obviously getting in... So how did you and Linus meet? Because I seen he put a post up of you the other week as well, like thanking you and saying...
Oh, man.
He said he done you and Goodwin.
Yeah, bit of an emotional moment, that was.
So how did you get involved with Linus?
Well, I got WhatsApp off him, and he basically was like, I've been told that you do the PA at Luton and all this and that. He was going, do you reckon you get me on the pitch? And I was like, well, look, let me speak to the club. So I spoke to Stuart at the club, and he was like, yeah, let's get him on. So I got him on the pitch, and then we was obviously there he is right there. Fitting, you should have edited that picture, man. That coat's not very flattering for me, is it? Like massive double chin going on.
I think there's another one on there. I think the other one's
my Nigel, man.
Yeah, look at the state of my face, man. Looks like I've been run over by a bus.
Nah.
But yeah, so like he basically messaged me, and then he got on the pitch, and then sort of like we've stayed in touch, and then I've done his like title fight, and we've just always been in touch. He's just like a genuinely nice, down to earth guy,
man.
and I'm not doing this to blow smoke up his ass, but he is one of the nicest guys in boxing you'll ever meet. He's just so like, he's always there for people, you know, he's always chatting away. Like he was in camp, and he still turned up to my 40th birthday, and he was living in Aylesbury at the time. He's come all the way from Aylesbury to literally give me like a bottle of drink, to wish me a happy birthday. Stayed and spoke to my dad, and that, because my dad loves boxing. Stayed and spoke to my dad and my family for like 25 minutes, and then he was in camp, and then off he went again. But that's just the kind of character he is, that even though he's in camp, he still took his time out to come see me on my 40th birthday, and I'll never forget that. And then that post come up on me 42nd birthday, and I was like, like, screenshot, look, Dad. And he was like, oh, son, that's lovely, isn't it? Showed the missus. Like, do you know what I mean? Yeah, like,
he is
top boy, that line is top boy.
He's all time, man.
Yeah.
Linus. But he's like, do you think he can go all the way?
I'd like him to go all the way.
Yeah.
I'd really like him to go all the way, but I just feel really sorry for him, because he's only had sort of, I think this will be his second fight this year, but other than that, he's only had sort of one fight a year, and that's really sort of held him back. And then obviously the whole thing with Conway constantly pulling out. Like, I think this is the third attempt at getting this fight on, innit?
Yeah.
And it's kind of like all these cancellations is holding him back. So now he's hit 30. I'm hoping he wins this fight, and then he can sort of go on and then go for like go on the Commonwealth, go on this, because obviously he'll get.
You know what they say, isn't it?
What's that?
Black don't crack.
Hey, yeah, he's looking young, man.
He's looking young.
He's looking young, man. That's one young looking guy, man.
Yeah, because he's 30 and Duncan's like 30. And I'm like, none of these look 30, but yeah, the black don't crack. And that's real rap.
Yeah, but Duncan dyes his hair though.
Yeah,
man,
Duncan does. He looked good with the dyed hair though.
Yeah, no,
I thought he looked alright. I thought he looked alright. He didn't like it.
No, I won't lie. It did look good, but I think it's most probably a bit of jealousy there that I wouldn't be able to pull it off. Do you know what I mean? You go skiing on my forehead, hence why I thought I better put on a cap.
Yeah.
Better put on a cap for the show, you know?
But even everything Linus does for the community, like he'll be out. I think he was like picking up rubbish by the River Lee and stuff like that. Like he is like Luton. He's just an all out.
He's just a good
nice
guy.
guy.
Yeah, he is. He's just he lives,
guy.
breathes, and eats Luton.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I think, like, you know, it was like when he had the show on Boxer during lockdown, where he beat the Spanish guy. And then it just right at the end of the interview, is where he looked at the cameras like, yeah, big up Luton. And then he walks off, and you're like, yeah, go on.
Yeah.
He literally does live, like, he's always messaging me that, do you want to do an away day? And I'm like, let me see if I can get tickets. So like me and him being at Peterborough and Stoke and all that. Yeah, no, he's a great guy, and I just hope he beats Conway. I feel confident he's going to beat.
Yeah. I've not really seen too much of Conway. I need to watch a bit about him. But when Linus was here talking to us, it didn't really sound like Conway even wanted the fight, really. He kept getting pushed and pushed.
Yeah, but it's ridiculous. Like, the British Boxing Board of Control got to sort this out, because, you know, when you get in like, fighters like Conway pulling out twice, it should be a case of, right, you've pulled out twice.
Who's next man up? Yeah,
it should go to the next one. Alternatively, if it was a case of that there was like 6 weeks before the fight and he's pulled out, is to give that person the opportunity. Would you like to step in? You've only got 6 weeks, or you've only got 4 weeks or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And let's be fair, if you've got the opportunity to be an eliminator and go for like because he's going for the international title as well.
Yeah, WBA international. I don't know what that is though.
It's like one of like this, like, you know, like they've got the silver belts and
okay,
like what Dillian White had and all of that.
Yeah.
You know, they should get someone else in, because it's not fair. Like, as I say, the guy up until this year has had one fight a year for 3 years. You know, he needs to be fighting.
Yes, the activity
2-3 times a year.
Because when he was here, it's like you see. So him and Denzel Bentley, when they fought, close fight, could have gone either way, and then Denzel Bentley goes on and fights for a world championship, has 3 or 4 fights in a year, and Linus still, it was from then to the Robbie Chapman fight.
Yeah.
So it's like that one loss kind of just like slowed everything down.
Sliding doors though, innit? Yeah. Like, he should have won that fight, because even in round 12, because obviously round 12 he was ducking and weaving, because like a lot of people thought he'd won the fight. I thought he'd won the fight. I thought worst case scenario it's going to be a draw, and then obviously there'll be a rematch. And let's be fair, I think the whole country would have liked to have seen that rematch, because they, do you know what I mean? They just went for it. But yeah, you know, and it's like what you're saying with Bentley. Literally, you know, he had that fight. He then had the defence where he knocked the guy out in the first round. He's then gone off to Las Vegas. He's then being a co-host on
BT.
sort of like on BT Sport and all of that for like some of the I think it was the Tyson Fury in an influencer fight.
Yeah, Tyson Fury.
Yeah, you know, and it is that sliding doors. That should have been Linus. Do you know what I mean? And I really want that for him.
Yeah,
I really want that for him. He deserves it. The guy works so hard. He trains.
He's a
so hard.
character as well.
Yeah, he's a nice character. He's approachable. You know, he's always there for people. Like you see him at Kenilworth Road. Every person that stops, he will stop and have a photo with him. He'll never turn anyone down. So I'm hoping he's going to spark out Conway. And then he's going to go and get that British title, and then he'll go bosh, bosh, bosh.
Well, it's surprising he's not even signed to like Matchroom or Boxer. Or like he's what 19-1.
Yeah,
19-1.
Yeah,
for like the British title. Like Conway's maybe like 19-3.
Yeah,
I think this is his like hardest fight though. So
and he's lost,
and he's signed for Matchroom.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's such
an unlucky loss as well.
It's an unlucky loss because it's against the Denzel Bentley who went on to fight for a world championship. Yeah. So he's a world level fighter.
Let's be fair, Denzel Bentley is a good fighter. Don't get me wrong. On that night, I felt Linus like did enough to win
Linus was a better boxer. Denzel Bentley just looks scrappier. When they're close, Denzel Bentley's more dirty.
Yeah, and you've got like Linus, who's like a pretty boy, and Denzel Bentley just looks like he could eat you.
Yeah,
scruff.
Do you know what
I mean?
Rough. I think Linus
Hood.
looks perfect. Yeah, it's just one of them unlucky ones.
Yeah, it's all down to judges, isn't it, and what they see.
It was unlucky, but
he was well unlucky.
Hopefully, smashes Conway.
Yeah,
goes all the way.
I'll be there.
Hopefully that just hopefully that speeds him up after that.
Yeah, I hope so, man.
He's what 30? You still got fighters 35. Like I said, black don't crack. 37.
He's gonna be fighting until he's 50, mate.
Sports people now, they're going longer.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? They're going longer, so there's no reason why he can't go.
And he's not had wars.
Nah,
because like you said, if he's been fighting once a year, he's not been having wars. Obviously, I don't know what he's doing in the gym, but he was saying he doesn't really spar like that either.
He's quite smart, man.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he's smart.
Hopefully
it's just annoying. Like this, like you said, this guy's pulled out like 2-3 times. It's like you're training, and this is his living as well.
Well, yeah.
So you're training, and the guy pulls out. It's so frustrating.
Well, it's lucky he pulled out the first time because it was on the same day as the Luton game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So that is a lucky. That is a lucky one.
Man. He got his ticket.
So he ain't crying about that one.
No, he's not crying. He was like, I was ready for after.
I was gutted when you guys. I've like nearly swore. Like, oh man, why's he got to be fighting on the day of the Wembley game? And then I was even thinking about. I was like, right, I need to find out where the venue is.
That's what we were thinking. We were like, is it possibly doable to travel from London to Manchester?
Yeah.
But in that time, and it probably wouldn't have been.
No, it wouldn't have been.
Because of the penalties and all of that, it wasn't even doable.
And then when literally, because it was quite funny, because like obviously, it's not funny, it's just like how it worked out. But it's one of those things that, it was quite funny actually. And then you say something and it's not funny at all. It's just like, But it was like, obviously we're playing Tottenham, and I'm like, oh man, he's fighting in Sheffield, and I'm thinking logistics, right? If I leave at half time, like I left at half time in the Huddersfield playoff game to get to the O2 for his fight with Bentley. Do you know what I mean? Because I had to be there to support him. And I'm thinking, like, if I leave at half time, will I get to Sheffield? And then all of a sudden it comes up in our like PA group chat. It's like, ping. The game's been moved to 12:30 kickoff. I'm like, right, come on. Fitting on the phone to Steve Goodwin. Goodwin, you seen what's going on with the Luton game? He's like, no. It's like, book coaches. I'm ringing up Linus. Have you seen? It's like, no. It's like 12:30 kickoff for the Tottenham game on your fight day. And he's like, wicked, what are you doing? I said, I'm coming, man. I literally booked my tickets. And I'll leave 10 minutes early and just flip in, get up there. Got to watch him fight, man, innit?
Yeah.
For what, the British title?
Well, this is the Eliminator.
Oh, the Eliminator, yeah.
Yeah.
But a big fight.
Yeah.
Big fight. Hopefully he can get like signed on after that as well, hopefully. A big performance against Conway, and he's a matchroom fighter, like...
Yeah.
Sky's the limit, man.
You never know, do you?
Sky's the limit.
You never know. It could happen. I hope it happens for him. He deserves it. But like, I know he's very loyal. Like, he won't change his management. He won't change his coaches. I love that about him. Like, he said to me one day, he goes, if I lift up a world title, I'm lifting up a world title with Steve and my coach. He goes, because I'm loyal. Like, he's like loyal to his sponsors, like DI Family Butchers and all that. He's been with them from day one. You know, that's just the guy he is, isn't he?
Yeah. He's all time, man. He's all time. He's going to have a statue up there in Luton.
One day.
What do you think of Luton's chances staying up, and how do you think they've actually performed or settled into the Premier League?
You know what? I've just enjoyed it. As silly as that sounds, because I'm so proud of that team. Like, honestly, when that penalty went over, it was like mad. It was like I went all mental for about 10 seconds, then I just froze. And then, like, my daughter's boyfriend's messaging, going, I think your dad's going to cry now. I'm like, no, I'm not. And it was like that whole proudness. And then it was like, I went to Brighton away, and obviously we got beaten 4-1. But, you know, same again, it was like, this is wicked, do you know what I mean? We're playing the big boys. And then it's like Chelsea away was just the most insane atmosphere. And then obviously Kenilworth Road was rocking the other night for West Ham. And I think at times we've been a bit unlucky. I think they've just got to adapt. And it's like what I've told a lot of fans is that when we went to the Championship, it took us quite a while to adapt. You know, we got stuffed like 7-0 by Brentford. I was like, they're just doing that again. They've just got to find their feet, and then anything's possible. Like, I think the team's good enough. You know, I think Rob Edwards has signed really well. Like the players he signed, like, you know, Giles, Chong, and all of them. I just think, you know, even Mads Anderson. Like, I didn't think he would be as good as what he was, and then he played against West Ham, and like, all right, there was one mistake with the Zuma, but you know, he popped up with a goal on that, and I just think they've brought wisely, and. Can we start up? Yes, we can. We can do it. Yeah, we can do it. But if we don't, I wouldn't be disappointed, because I just think with the journey that we've been on, just getting there has been incredible. Like,
you've been here, like you said, 22 years.
26. This is my 26th season. So when I started, we was in League One. So we was in League One. We then got obviously Joe Kinnear. We got relegated. We've then like gone all the way to the Championship with Null. We've then gone all the way back down non-league, and now we've gone all the way back up again. I've seen everything. So don't get me wrong, Pelly's got a record as a player, but this guy I've seen it all as well, man. Yeah. In that 26 years. So yeah, it's been incredible.
Do you think we've changed the style a bit too much?
No, I think you've got to adapt, ain't you? I think you've got to adapt, and I think that's why they've got the technical players in. Like, you know, like I keep mentioning him, like Chong, because I think he sticks out. And I think, you know, they've got to change it. You can't, if you're lumping balls up like all the time in that division, I don't think you're going to get very far. So like, they're playing it on the floor a lot more, utilising that. And no, I think Rob Edwards is really intelligent. I think he's had to change it because he knows where we're at. So I don't think they've changed too much. I think they've brought, as I say, they've brought wisely. They're doing everything wisely, because it's Luton Town, isn't it? They do everything. They do everything above board, everything to the book. Which is how football should be. People need to look at how, you know, Gary and the board have been doing it. So like, no, I don't think they've changed too much at all. I think it's been good changes, to be fair.
Yeah, I do like these new signings though, like especially Ogbene as well. I think he looked, apparently the other night for Ireland, he was like unbelievable against France.
Yeah,
like,
unbelievable. Man of the match, didn't
he? Yeah. So like, hopefully he gets a shot. But it's hard because of the formation.
Yeah, because he'd have to play really as a wing back. Yeah. But I can see him doing it because he's got so much pace. He's got so much power. Yeah. Like when they come on against Chelsea, like using it, putting his shoulder in and that.
Yeah, I think he's looked really good every time he's come on, really.
100%.
He's a little bit erratic, but I don't mind it from him for where he's playing, like how high up he is.
Yeah.
But then he showed some like good technical ability as well, which I was surprised about coming from Rotherham. I don't know why I was surprised about it. But
then again, you look at it and it's the Luton way, innit? Yeah. Like Jordan Clark. I remember when we signed Jordan Clark from Akron, I'm thinking, Jordan Clark from Akron? Who's this guy? And he's most probably been one of our best players for years.
And he's injured and he's coming back.
Yeah.
Osho's injured and he's got to come back. So they were two starters. They'd probably be starting in the team.
Big time.
So we are missing two key players as well.
Yeah. But they'll come back and then they'll be back on it. And then, and then fingers crossed we get a few wins. I think we just need one win.
Yeah.
We need that one win.
Momentum.
And then, and then it will begin. And I think the belief will kick in because that's a tough start. You know, Brighton away, like their home record last season was amazing. Then Chelsea away, and then West Ham at home. You know, look, won the Europa Conference League. You know, that's a tough start.
Yeah, it is. It is, especially West Ham, because no one thought they were going to be as good as they were. And like, they stuffed Brighton, stuffed Chelsea, drew to Tottenham, who Tottenham are looking really good as well. They have been in the Premier League, so. Yeah, like you said, it is a tough start. I think Burnley have had quite a hard start as well.
Yeah, well, they're below us, isn't it?
Yeah, they had Man City, Tottenham. Yeah. We were meant to play each other in the middle, but...
Yeah, no, we've got 3rd of October now, isn't it? Yeah. So that's going to be the game, isn't it? That's the must-win. If we can beat Burnley, if we can beat Wolves...
Yeah, Wolves is...
beat Burnley, I think, you know, they'll get on a little run.
Is Everton in that around? Everton's
we've got
in a few weeks as well.
So we've got Fulham Saturday, Fulham Wolves... And then I think it's Everton after that. I think Everton's on the... Yeah, it is Everton. So, Everton away, though. So, it'll be a tough game, but we can do them.
Just points.
Yeah.
Just points.
We can do them because they'll be similar to us. They're physical. So, we can do them and then we can give Sean Dyche a bit and then go home happy.
Yeah. Obviously, Is there any more we haven't touched on the list or anything like that? You're good. Is there any more we haven't touched on with you that you'd want to say? Anything coming up or?
Well, like literally just hit up on the Instagram. It's just DJ.Darren Jones. I used to be DJ Dazzler, hit 30, thought, no, I can't really call myself that anymore. It's
Dazzler.
It's Dazzler spelt like Rizzler. Not that I would do anything bad, by the way, anyone. Yeah, that's how I spell it. And I hit 30, thought, nah. So yeah, it's just on Instagram, DJ.Darren Jones.
Yeah.
Literally hit me up on there. You'll see all the bits and bobs I'm doing. And then, what I'd say is anyone listening, start supporting the small hall boxing shows.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Especially the Goodwin shows, because they're the best boxing shows, everyone, all right? But yeah, start going to the small hall boxing shows. I think people need to start realising this is where the boxers start. This is where you start seeing real up-and-coming talent, and you start seeing the lower title fights like your southern areas and all that, and people need to start supporting that a little bit more. Don't worry about the Joshuas and the Furies that all going off against each other. Go and see the young guys.
Talent.
Yeah, like especially this Saturday. If anyone's not going to watch Luton, get down to Your Call Junior Special. He's fighting on the bill. He's from Luton. He's one of our own. People need to go there and support him. And hopefully you two will be coming and need to talk about it off air.
Oh, I didn't even know he was from Luton.
Yeah, he's from Luton. Like because he lived in Luton when he was younger. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like earlier, he just literally that's where I'm from.
Yeah,
so he lives in London, but he's from Luton. And then and his junior specials. Remember the name because trust me, this guy,
serious.
This guy's gonna be unreal. He's a character as well. The guy's going to be incredible. You need to check him out. So yeah.
Obviously, we got two finishing questions of the pod anyway. But one more that actually was on the list. What do you reckon with the Usyk Dubois low blow?
That weren't no low blow, man.
Nah, this is what we've been saying. We've been going all back and forth and
no low blow, man. I don't care what anyone says because people went at the end. They went, "Oh, look at Usyk's shorts." Because they were below his navel, and I'm like, yeah, but look, during the fight, it was above.
Yeah,
as far as I'm concerned,
after the fight.
That was a proper good shot, and I don't care what Usyk says. He was not getting up from that.
He was shaking.
Yeah, he was shaking. He was shaking. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, he was shaking. He couldn't move. But I actually lost a lot of respect for Usyk with that.
Yeah,
because it was just like, don't cheat to like, don't grab your groin and say, oh yeah, I've been punched in the groin.
He grabs his groin a lot when he gets hit, like around that area though.
Yeah.
So is he
the third time during the fight he was moaning about it?
Yeah.
And then that time he went down.
But for me, it's like the ref's just going off of his call. He's not making his own decision.
Yeah.
Did you see it or did you not see it? Because if you didn't see it, you can't go off. You can't go off his call.
He should have been getting counted. Dubois really should be world champion right now, as far as I'm concerned. I know loads of people are going to give me flack for that, but he should have been, and that was his best performance. Do you know what I mean? I felt for him when he got counted out, but. Do you know what I mean? He gave it, didn't he? He gave it his best, and hopefully he comes back and he gets anher chance.
Well, he's only young as well, isn't he?
Yeah, so, 25.
Yeah,
you know, it's young in the game.
And he got stopped, but it's not because of the low blow thing. It's not. There's still a bit of taint to it. There's like we would see that fight again. Like I don't know if he'd win it again, because Usyk's obviously going to adapt and make changes, and he's just unreal. So
yeah, he's insane.
But he's going to get other chances just off of that. Like, all right, you had a good performance against Usyk. Like you did drop him, low blow drop, whatever you want to call it. He got dropped.
Yeah, he got dropped. He got dropped and was shaking.
He was shaking.
Yeah,
that says it all.
It should make his stock better, but he's definitely not getting a rematch.
No. And I don't think they're going to be able to overturn decision either.
No.
So
it's in his own back garden, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's like...
But the ref was like Puerto Rican. He wasn't even like Polish, which makes it worse.
He was what, Puerto Rican?
Yeah, he's like Puerto Rican, the ref.
Man, he should have been proper neutral.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Do you know what I mean? If it was like a Polish or Ukrainian ref, I could understand it. Do you know what I mean? The most probably disqualified.
No, they couldn't have had that, man. They had two Polish judges. They couldn't have had two Polish judges and like a Polish or Ukrainian ref.
Yeah,
Jesus
and it was on
Christ.
like Ukrainian Day, like Ukraine Day or whatever it was.
And it's literally like not that far off the border. It was the closest point they could have done it to Ukraine. So apparently it was like rocking in there though. I was speaking to Tony about it, and Tony was like, mate, it was rocking. Like the venue, it was just mental.
Yeah, man. Is it me or does Tony? Tony's everywhere, isn't he, Tony Pill?
He said this the other day.
He spreaded quicker than chlamydia in the 90s, didn't he? Literally, Tony Pill, like you like on his Instagram and that, and he's like, he's here, he's there, he's at the O2, he's here, and it's like, what? He's in Dubois' corner now. Man, Tony Pill, he's like...
I just see Tony on TV.
Yeah, he gets more work than a working girl, doesn't he?
Nah,
he's everywhere, man.
The gym's a bit of a hotspot at the minute, man.
Yeah.
Like the Pug Gym. Obviously, you got all the Luton people from there.
Yeah.
So now Jordan, Ticey, obviously Frankie, and then they've got a lot. Obviously Dubois there, but he's with Don.
Yeah.
Dirty
Harry's there as well.
Yeah, Dirty Harry's there. Chisora's still like in and around. He kind of comes there. Yeah, Chisora was with Don when the David Hay stuff.
Yeah,
that stuff happened. You know when David Hay ran over to him and they had that fight.
Yeah,
that was with Don, Chisora.
Right.
Yeah, it was with all of them, which is mad.
Tony there as well, was he?
Nah, I don't think Tony was there. I didn't see Tony there.
Tony.
Be like, oh, was you at
Tony, was you there? You've just been on the podcast. Like, I do apologise for saying you spreaded Quickland chlamydia in the 90s, but was you at this one as well? Do you know what I mean?
Tom Ansell, who just fought Campbell Hatton as well.
Yeah,
so
I feel so sorry for Tom Ansell.
Yeah.
He's last 3 fights, isn't it? And he's
against 3 good opponents as well, man.
But that's what I like about him.
He's game.
Fight anyone.
He's game.
Yeah, he'll fight anyone.
Yeah, hopefully he's coming on soon as well.
Yeah.
Razor's at their gym with one of the other coaches, but with the same gym.
Yeah,
Razor. So yeah, they've got a good little squad building up, man. That's why he's everywhere at the minute.
Man, like Tony.
Because he is. I'm at somewhere, but it's because we know the same thing. I'm turning around and I just feel a tap on my shoulder. It's fucking Tony.
Yeah, love Tony. He's such a nice guy.
He is a really nice guy. And he's Millwall, but everyone he's got all the Luton people pretty much.
Yeah.
And he's wearing Jordan's shirt and it's like Lutonian on the back. And he's Millwall. It's like, go put that one on Facebook.
I had to have a word with him because he booked me to do his last show in Watford. And I was thinking, right, hang on a minute, do you know what I mean? I'm going to Watford now, going to enemy territory. I bowled up to him, shook his hand. First thing I was like, Tone, quick question, yeah? Who do you support? He went, not Watford. I was like, oh, we're all right. Shook hands, he gave me an envelope and off I went. Right, I better set up now.
Yeah, no, he's all time. I really like Tony.
Yeah, no,
he's a nice guy.
Great bloke.
Yeah, and the two finishing questions of the pod, obviously we ask everyone this. When it's all said and done for you, you've done the big arena, hopefully at Wembley.
Yeah.
Hopefully at Wembley for Linus as well. That'd be all time for a world title.
Or Kenilworth Road, man.
Oh, do you think Kenilworth Road is possible?
Well, Barry McGuigan fought there back in the 80s, man. So anything's possible.
Yeah, but do you think it's possible like nowadays?
I don't know.
At that ground,
I'd love it, but I don't know. It'd be wicked though, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
it'd be wicked.
Surely they could do it, man. The
easiest time to do it is now.
Yeah. Well, it'd have to be pre-season, innit?
No, pre-season. I don't mean like right now, this time of year. I mean now, why all the boxers aren't signed to like loads of other different, you know, like the big boys, like one's at Matchroom or one's at Queensbury. So there's not going to be as much politics, which is now, really, because they are all going to get. Ticey's fighting for a world title.
Yeah,
Frankie's got a big fight coming up. Jordan's going to be fighting for an English. So is it? Yeah, she's fighting for a WBO. World title. Yeah, in France.
Yeah, I saw that. Like
17-0, the chick, man.
Oh really?
Yeah, but
she's Luton.
Yeah.
Luton, mate.
Bred differently.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Bred differently.
And that's what I mean, like bringing the WBO home to Luton, man. Jesus.
She deserves it as well. After she lost to Nina. Do you know what I mean? After she lost to Nina for their Commonwealth, is that like, you know, for her to bounce back the way she did and to now see her going for a world title, that would be immense.
I feel like she needed that though. Because I felt like it was just, because her age, it was just more of a confidence thing. And then she was close to that Nina fight. That Nina fight could have gone either way.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. So for her now, for her to be like, right, I just got this close. She must be thinking, bro, I can
take on anyone because she's world champion.
Yeah, Nina's gone on to be world champion. Like she's thinking, mate, I'm going to tear you all up.
Nina's been fighting
for ages,
Vegas and everything, isn't she? She's all over the place. Do you know what I mean?
She's been around. For
and Ticey's probably more marketable.
Yeah,
personality wise, Nina's she's not a big personality when you watch her interviews or anything. No. So Ticey's quite marketable.
Yeah, I'd say so.
So yeah, I reckon
up the town.
Hopefully.
Yeah, up the town.
That's what I mean. You could have all the belts in Luton, mate.
You has. Yeah, you could do.
You could have all the belts. You want all the belts.
Yeah, all the belts in Luton.
It's good. It's good. There's a lot of good things.
Yeah,
100%. This is what the press don't realise, though, isn't it? They slag off Luton all the time. But yeah, we've got a Premier League football club. We've got some of the best boxers in the country. There's this podcast. All right, do you know what I mean? Luton's like...
We're up there.
Luton's up
there.
There.
Thereabouts.
Luton's up there, man. It needs more respect, man.
It does.
Bring the titles to Luton.
But yeah, the two finishing questions. So when you've done the big shows, you've done it all, announcing Luton Champions League, hopefully. How do you want to be remembered?
Oh man,
yeah, it got deep.
Oh, that is deep, man. How would I want to be remembered?
Yeah, we'll say like personally. So not career wise, just personally.
Yeah, I don't really know. I just like to be a likable person. Do you know what I mean? Like, And I'd want to just be remembered for the good things I've done. Do you know what I mean? I want people to look back and go, I remember when Darren done that, or like the 22,000 promotion party and all of that. You know, I want to be remembered for the good things I've done. So yeah, that's what I'm hoping. But if I get the Wembley one, man, I want to be remembered for that. Do you know, I want to be on TV. I want to. Do you know what I mean?
Dazzle.
Comes up, Darren goes, pointing at the camera. Actually, I want to be remembered for that. But yeah, no, I definitely want to be remembered for like the good stuff I do. You know, I think I'm a good person. You know, I do some good stuff. I won't like blow my trumpet on the charity work and all that jazz, but yeah, I just want to be remembered for being a good person, a good local person that loves his area, loves his community. Loves the people, man.
You were saying before you work with kids and that as well.
I used to work with kids, yeah, in education. I was deemed a behaviour specialist.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's funny how I got the job. I turned up for an interview and they went, "Why should you get this job?" I spent half my life out of the classroom. We went, "Yeah, I think you're ideal." There we go. Yeah. Sweet, yeah. We've had 16 women apply. You're the only bloke. Job's yours.
And the finisher, your most euphoric moment in life so far?
My most euphoric moment in life so far? Definitely not Fatboy Slim on Brighton Beach. It was pretty euphoric, but I don't remember it. No. God, my most euphoric moment. You know what? I'm going to do it in sport. And I'll definitely say it would be like one or two things. One of them was like the crowd. One of them was the crowd against Sunderland and bringing the team out and doing that rally cry and hearing the whole crowd just go like, literally I had tingles all over me. It was pretty euphoric, man. So that would be one of them. And then, oh man, what would be the other euphoric moment? That's a good question, man. You know, we'll go with that one. I think it's the Sunderland game, bringing them out of the tunnel, and you know it was that loud I couldn't even hear on the microphone. Man. I couldn't even hear, and I'm a loud guy, as you can most probably tell. You're gonna have to sort my levels out. But yeah, so that would most probably be one of the most euphoric moments in sport for me, man. Definitely,
that's wicked, man.
Yeah,
and hopefully to many more to come as well.
Yeah, fingers crossed, man. Bring it on.
But it's been wicked having you on. Really appreciate you coming on. It's been all time.
Cheers,
man.
Pal.
I'm going to link all your stuff down below, so if people want to find you and stuff like that, keep a lookout for him. And it's been another episode of the Curious VG, and peace, people.